Alright everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the F123 Driver Career with Haas, episode number 4 today for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix at Baku. If you missed the previous episode, Australia, uploaded last week, and ready to go and check that one out before seeing this one, because spoiler, we sit P8 in the championship, but we were beaten by Kevin Magnussen previously to 6th. He got 6th, I finished in 7th, but good points all round. We're only 4 points behind Aston Martin. Now R&D wise, things are going well on the Sachet. We've either got a weight reduction upgrade or a weight redistribution upgrade. Can't do both because of capacity issues, so I decided to go for the weight redistribution upgrade, just because to try and get that on, and hopefully we can get some discounts for the weight reduction upgrade later, which is a bit more expensive. We're also going to put a major engine power upgrade. Somehow we got 53% off, and as usual something's failed. It's actually better if it fails, because when you've got 53% off something after 3 practice sessions, that's something that definitely needs to be fixed in a patch. As well, and there's some more failures. Goodness grief. It's like every single R&D doesn't actually want to complete itself, which obviously costs more R&D points that we don't need it. We've got a new rival though, in terms of Lando Norris. That major engine power upgrade will have to wait till Monaco. I think we're going to repurchase also that minor gearbox upgrade that failed in the previous episode, because somehow it's only 77 resource points as well. But all that R&D has only slightly put us ahead of McLaren. We're still behind Alpine by a pixel there, so we have caught up to them. So obviously progress going forwards, we'll try and look to get ahead of them in a time for Monaco. But we move to qualifying, and I'm not going to lie, I hate this circuit on F123. I can't quite decide what it is, but we'll start off in qualifying. First of all, when I was just going, just preparing for my warm-up, Esteban Ocon decided to take the inside line through this corner, and again, this is a horrible corner on F123, even though it's been reprofiled, and decided to smash his tyre up, and that just caused an absolute pile-up. Look at all of that. There's about 4 or 5 cars that are out. Anyway, our fastest lap, I don't know what it was, but I first thought it was tyre temperatures, because the surface temperatures, I've locked, by the way, the carcass temperatures, purely because the AI have locked carcass temperatures. That's the only reason why. If the AI didn't have locked carcass temperatures, and they would fluctuate, then I would unlock mine. So to make it an even playing field on that point. Not only that, and that also happened on F122. When you come out the pits, you'd have tyres that are cold, but it seems that the surface tyre temperatures are a bit cold. But I found that at Monaco they were also cold. Especially into this corner they were getting a bit cold. But I think it's the brake assist that is just got worse, because through that corner I'm having to apply brakes. There's a bit of understeer there as well. Nice they got rid of the curve there on the exit of that corner now. And then it's also has become up to this corner here, this left-hander where Ocon crashed, and you can see all the debris that's been left there. That's also a corner, and I think it's just the brake assist. It's not been calibrated and properly, and we're going way too fast into that. So let me know if you're having problems with Baku as well. But it just doesn't feel like a circuit that I haven't got there yet, and also not comfortable with the setup. Been trying to play around with it, trying to make it comfortable, and it's just not working for me at the moment. We are 7.5 tenths up, but half the grid has crashed. And somehow we have ended up P8 as well. I should point out we are going to need an engine penalty, because I forgot to change my components, and we were going to need one anyway because the stuff was getting all the parts were getting a little bit overworn. We only done 3 races anyway. You can see all the DNFs, so Sainz, Norris, Leclerc, Ocon, Albon, Zhou and Sargent all out, and Alonso got disqualified as well. So yeah, well, first of all, everyone will have those penalties applied for the race, so we'll see what we can do. Time for the sprint, but first of all, confirmation. There is the penalties we're going to be taking. To be honest, a little bit warning to see the IC in the gearbox already worn already.
So it is all about speed in today's sprint. Not very many laps and no chance to get ahead on strategy. Who here today has the raw skill to take them to the top? Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's sprint. George Russell will begin today's event in pole position, and the smooth operator Carlos Sainz completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Perez, Leclerc, Hamilton, Norris, Verstappen, Phoenix, Gasly, Ocon, Stroll, Magnussen, Albon, Bottas, Zhou, Tsunoda, De Vries, Sargent, Oscar Piastri and Fernando Alonso rounds off the grid. Which of these drivers will get pole position today? We will soon find out.
After the points finished last race, let's aim to keep that momentum going.
So we're up in P8, so you know we got a chance to get some points in the sprint before that chance erodes for the main race. Race strategy, I did think about going on soft tyres, but we're going to stick to mediums, play it safe. If I was starting further back, then definitely I'd have gone for softs, but because we're an 8th, so you know, we'll start with mediums. 5 lights are out, and away we go. Good start. Let me see if we can get ahead of Norris. No, decided to brake early, a bit of contact with Gasly, then we actually hit the rear of Norris there. I'll look down the inside of turn 2. Yes, can we get Sainz? No, we can't. We're going to close it off on the McLaren, move out to P7. But Norris has lost a bit of his front end plate, so that's Lando, you know, a new rival. He will be at the back for the rain race, well, along with us, so we'll see him in the race probably at some point. And that's going to leave a 3-way scrap actually for 8th place, for 9th place, excuse me, because behind Gasly, between Stroll, Ocon and our teammate Kevin Magnussen. You know, it'd be nice to K-Mag, and needs a bit of a better start really to close in, although he has to be fair, he wasn't as bad as he was in Saudi. Meanwhile, we're going side by side with Pierre Gasly again. DRS is enabled, and I can't, again, DRS is overpowered on this game, something that definitely needs to be fixed by Codemasters in the ANA patch, hopefully coming up. But again, we're going still side by side. Now we have DRS. Out of turn 2, down to turn 3, and with the faster engine pace of the Haas, we're able to blast whilst Gasly tries to come down the inside. We're leaving space on the inside, we're able to up to retain P7 for now, but you can see, well, I just lost the back end, and B wanted to let him past anyway, because I want DRS here. You can see Leclerc, 5 laps, the top 6 are 10 seconds ahead already. You know, this just shows the gap between the top 3 teams and everybody else. I don't know what's happened to Stroll as well. I think he made contact with Ocon and had to pit as well. As we go around the outside, Gasly and Ocon are going to have to fight. Hopefully we can get away from these two. Unfortunately we can't. Again, we're just going to allow Gasly to go. We're going side by side now through these fast corners, which isn't particularly a place you want to be. A little bit of understeer then. There was a bit of contact with Ocon, not me to make contact with Ocon there, but there we go. And we're just going to look at the speed. Gasly's is sitting up. Las Vegas will be worse. Las Vegas is worse than this, by the way. If you haven't seen that video, I recommend you go and check that one out. I did the day race around there as well, but we've still got Ocon's got in front of Gasly, but now Ocon will be the sitting duck without DRS on lap number 7. Well, Magnussen of course has come to join us. I think that's Bottas, one of the AlphaTauris as well. AlphaTauri hasn't scored any points so far, and look at K-Mag go as well on the inside there. We're going to try and defend against our teammate. We want the points here, you know, try and keep P7, P8. The Gasly's got the better exit out of turn 1 down to turn 2 as well. A bit wide there. Don't want to be going that wide for that corner again. And now we focus on trying to defend Gasly. Gasly at the inside up to turn 3. Again, we're just going to try and brake as late as possible. Almost hitting the barrier there with a lot of understeer there. And again, more understeer there, and I've lost my momentum. Now we're going side by side through the end of the first sector. You can see there's a bigger train forming. This is not what we want potentially here around this corner. And we're able to keep the position. And Magnus is actually going to follow me through here because Gasly took the curve. So Magnussen is into P8, which is fantastic news for us because we've now got a rear gunner as well. Our tyres are starting to go off at the right quarter pink. The mediums over the softs. You can see the mediums on the rears, 41% there. As well. Now we're just going to defend against our teammate up to the line where we're out of ERS. Kevin, please let me have the 2 points. No, sadly not. Magnussen beats us to the line, and it's P8 in the end, which is annoying because it reduces us to 1. It doesn't matter anyway. I mean, the annoying thing is it's 1 point instead of 2, basically. We're not going to be doing too much in terms of qualifying position because we're going to be starting at the back anyway with with our new engine that we just applied. So yeah, well, we'll have to see what we can do in the race from last place on the grid. It's time for some pain.
What a race we have in store for us today, with a competitive field ready to do battle once again. Hold on to the edge of your seat, it's time for another Formula One Grand Prix.
Baku City Circuit then, it's an unpredictable 3.7 mile track around the streets of the Azerbaijan capital. 20 turns for our drivers to navigate today, including the infamous Turn 8, one of the tightest and most challenging corners of the season. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. What a qualifying yesterday for George Russell. He'll start today's race from pole position, edging out Sergio Perez, who lines up P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Sainz, Magnussen, Gasly, Ocon, Bottas, Tsunoda, Hamilton, Stroll, Oscar Piastri, De Vries, Sargent, Norris, Joe, Leclerc, Albon, Fernando Alonso, and Phoenix. Now, it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track. And Anthony Davidson joins us for this one. And great to have your company. There's no weather to worry about here. What will be going through the drivers' minds as they finish these last-minute preparations?
Well, I imagine they'll be starting to feel the adrenaline as they anticipate the rundown into turn 1, a bit like preparing to go into battle. The unknown situation will bring nerves, but that's a good thing. It will keep them focused on the moment and on their surroundings as we build towards the start of the Grand Prix.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
Now then, race strategy, a slightly interesting one. I decided to risk it up and go on the soft tyres to start with because we need to make places up off the start. And hopefully this will come back to us at the end. I did think about doing a hard medium strategy, but that didn't work. So we'll go a soft medium. Hopefully we can make up some positions and not be too slow and try and catch people as they squabble in the race. So 5-minute lights then to the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. 26 laps of pain are underway. And it's, as usual on F23, you can get a full throttle start, and the best start since sliced bread, down the inside of Lando Norris, and that's instantly, just like that, 7 positions gained. Make that another one as we dive it down the inside of Nick De Vries in the middle sector. De Vries caught napping there, and Leclerc is going to follow me through there. As well in the Ferrari, Leclerc, he had that engine penalty. Penalty for blocking, for I think locking, and in there Ocon is, and then also got I think he's taken some engine component as well, I'm not entirely sure. Around the outside of Leclerc here though, on lap number 2, Leclerc isn't doing that well in terms of pace. I'm expecting to fly at the road, but of course we have got the same engine as him. Now trying to have a look at Lance Stroll, who's been forced out by Yuki Tsunoda down the inside. There we go, in the middle of the sector again, and up to P11. Again, this was just catching Stroll a little bit unaware, because obviously he was trying to get in front of Tsunoda and has then lost out. Well, Stroll's on a different strategy though to us and everyone else, because he is on the medium tyres. Meanwhile, at the road, Magnussen has lost out with a good start position. It's actually Gasly who's behind the best of the rest, along with Bottas there. So as they come through to this horrible corner, and I always have to brake early. You can see that where we were, we've lost 3 seconds to Tsunoda in 5 laps. The pace is not there. I'm really struggling for pace. The tyres are not doing well for me, and at this point we've let Stroll pass to get the DRS, and again all this fighting is just losing me time to Tsunoda, the top 10, which is very frustrating that haven't got the pace. On a track we should have the pace, but it's clearly that the corners just not. It's a combination between. I think it's a combination between the brakes, the brake assist, and the setup just not working for me at this track. Which I have to go back to the drawing board, try and find something if I can, as well as a later day. 2.3 second stop for our first stop of 2. It's going to give us new tyres, but you can see the hards not working out on Oscar Piastri. He started the hards, and look how much time he's lost. So it's clearly there's something wrong with the tyres. We're easily able to get past Oscar in the middle sector as well. At a corner there, the AI should be better, or definitely better than me. As well, down this corner, it's the precursor to that other horrible one. We're now having to look to get past Sargent and De Vries as they go side by side. We're going to have DRS on both of them, and De Vries is broken in a straight line. I think he's actually gone in the pits. Can we have a look down the inside of Logan Sargent? Yes, we can, and up to P17. We go. Now we're on the back of Fernando Alonso. So this strategy, to be fair, he's working out on us. The fresh tyres, are working. A bit of clean air as well. Work wonder. You can make up so much time. It's just the fact of the matter is, it's not as much time as we want. As well, Alonso and Leclerc sitting ducks there down the inside of both of them is a lovely little move. Leclerc, I think our engineers said that he's got a little bit of an issue with his engine, which is unfortunate for him, as Alonso there is getting past him as well on the mediums. The mediums not being a good tyre really. The softs seem to be the better tyre, as Albon is a sitting duck. He comes in. A lot of people go into hard tyres with his second stint, so we're going to have a tyre advantage on a lot of the field. It's just, of course, if I had the pace, then I would be looking for a top 5 here, I think. But we've actually managed to jump Gasly, and at this point we have a tyre advantage on Gasly. Our tyres shouldn't be that old, but this is the issue. Our tyres are gone off completely. Old tyres are absolutely horrible on F123 as well. And if somebody's got new hards compared to my old softs now, which have been on for 5 laps, I should point out, then they do feel horrible. We have got the straight line speed to get past Gasly and move what is up into P9. So we're on to the top 10. We are sort of ruining Gasly's race, as there comes Ocon and Magnussen, and well, there's Esteban Ocon, who's managed to jump us. And what's going to happen is that we're not going to see Ocon and Magnussen again in this race, pretty much, because they are far away. Bottas has come to join the party. We're down the middle there. I did have to almost close my eyes, as that we almost got pinted in between the two of them. But it's Bottas there as the rear end steps out for the 10,000th time on this game as well. But again, now we let Bottas through in the Alfa Romeo. Now, this will be interesting to see how our car steps up against a fellow Ferrari powered car. And Bottas is just a sitting duck. We're going to go past him just after the DRS detection point, and move up to P8. You can see Magnussen and Ocon 8 seconds and 9.5 seconds down the road on freshened tyres. And lap 15, well, at this point, I've got fed up with what's happening on. And so what happened here is I just went a little bit slowly through the castle section, got a 5-second penalty and a red flag, which is absolutely fantastic because red flags are glitched on this game, which means that we'll be guaranteed to finish in the position we started, plus 5 seconds. As well, we're going to have to see how that glitch. The thing is, there's no flashbacks available, which needs to be added. There's no option to when you go restart session, it restarts on the first lap. There's no option to if you mess up the start of your race, you'll start after the red flag. There's no option to restart that 5 red light sequence. I should point out, as Mark's decided to give us a strategy call. The Ferrari has had an awful start on those hard tyres, as well as we're underway on lap 17. Norris, though, has gained big as well from this because he hadn't stopped on his hard tyres from about P7 down the inside, though, and up to P6. Now we're trying to get in front of Carlos Sainz. Matt K-Mag's up to P4. Not sure what happened to Ocon. Ocon's down in P8, so don't know why he was starting behind us, but there we go. And we're down on the inside of Carlos Sainz up to P5. We have got a tyre advantage. We'll try and gap him by 5 seconds. But at the front, it is Sergio Perez who is going to win this Grand Prix ahead of Max Verstappen, because of course the top 4 are going to be the order now, but due to the race results not applying properly. But somebody who won't be applied properly is Yuki Tsunoda, because he's out of the race with an engine failure as well. Again, the AlphaTauri is very unreliable in this career mode, as we've been attacked by all manner of places by Sainz and Norris with DRS available on lap 23. We're going to dive down the inside of Norris. I want to finish ahead of Norris. I know we're not likely to be able to gap him by 5 seconds, probably going to end up P15 or something with the 5 seconds, but you know, this is just about pride at this point, to try and make sure that we can get the best position possible. There's a gap to Hamilton, so if we can grow that a little bit, we might be able to sneak maybe a P10 or something. You never know. So down the inside of Max Sainz, but you know, I've stopped playing the game where we're trying to give the AI, trying to get DRS off the AI, just trying to use the power we've got to get the defend there. Sainz tried it on the inside there, didn't do that, but Sainz was very slow out that corner. What's happened to Sainz here? So I give him space and he's just hit the wall. He decided, I don't think that's my fault, personally speaking. Let me know what you think about that in the comments. Or should I give him a bit more space? But it's going to give us a 4-second gap because Sainz slowed everybody up beautifully. So we might be able to get, what, P8 maybe? I don't know. Up to the line. And then the game decided to freeze. After that, I should point out, my game, but it did actually get me to this results screen and gave me P10. I don't quite know what's happening with the timings. Again, it's a glitch. I'm hoping there is going to be a fix on the way to fix that, but it's given us P10 and 1 point. So, you know, I mean, we only slowed down a little bit, but again, probably if that would happen in real life, you'd probably be looking at at least a couple of penalty points, and probably a bigger penalty than a 5-second penalty, at least probably a drive-through. But there we go. That's what the game has decided to give us. And we've lost our points to Norris in the end as well. We lost our points to our teammate Kevin Magnussen, we're trying to shine against, you know, to show Ferrari that we're ready to have that seat. Constructors, though, we are up to P4 ahead of Aston Martin, who aren't doing that run in this career mode. In terms of rivalry, Lando has a slight lead, 5-4, but he has plenty of time to revert that back. But yeah, that was a horrible race, and you know, that took me 5 hours to record, and then about 4.5 hours to edit as well yesterday. You know, that was a lot of work just to work on that horrible race, and in the end all we got is 2 points out of it, which, you know, I'm not particularly over the moon about. And the next race just so happens to be Monaco, a track that I particularly struggle at and have done on previous games. Will it be better on F123? You know, we've seen struggled on, you know, in some slow corners, but will it be better at Monaco? The brake assist isn't that bad compared to what has been at Azerbaijan on previous games. You know, it's obviously some made worse. So yeah, if anyone from Codemasters is watching, you need to fix the brake assist and look at the tyre temperatures at Baku as well. But yeah, that's where I'm going to leave it for today's episode. If you have enjoyed it, leave a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel to see plenty more F123 driver career mode videos and other F123 gameplay videos. The first fantasy livery is coming out this week as well. So that'll be out on Friday as well. So till the next video then, I'll see you next time. Take care, enjoy your day, and goodbye.